If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. I'm always surprised by the comment that I need to be traveling more and seeing more things, more exotic things, more beautiful things. Just did a live feed the other day from this location, West Texas. I think it's absolutely fantastic. And it's something I've never seen before. So I get to experience a lot of things that I probably would never have experienced had I not done this lifestyle. And there are some things that I really get to do, and then there's just things that I get to do. So let's just assume for a minute that sitting here at West Texas for 3 or 4 days at this free campground with free electric and free water, that this is just one of those things you get to do. Even at that, the experience is locked in here for the rest of my life. I'm 47 years old, and I've seen something that most people who don't live in West Texas will never get to see. We went to Florida, and we just stayed out in the National Forest. Florida is just absolutely fantastic, and there's just no way to explain Florida and the beauty of Florida. It's like a rainforest, but not a rainforest. And then, of course, you get to go to the Gulf Coast, see the beautiful sunrises and sunsets. You don't get to camp there, but there is an experience that I've always wanted to do and never got a chance to until I started living in the back of a pickup truck. And so I get these comments that say, well, I really think you should be doing more. And here's the thing is I think a lot of these comments come from people who are sitting in their home. Not to be rude, but this is a legitimate question that I have, is why aren't you doing this? If folks think that I should be doing more, then the question should be, why aren't you doing any of it? And the answer would be the same as my answer. I'm sure. Maybe the fear of doing it. Maybe you don't know how to do it. Maybe you don't have the money to do it. Maybe age is a factor, health is a factor. There's all kinds of things that play into why you're not doing it. Well, the same thing applies to me. I mean, I am living the lifestyle, but I'm not, going and seeing all the fancy places that folks think I should go see. And there are legitimate reasons why I mosey my way through this lifestyle. And I go slow. And the primary reason is just the sheer cost of it. Trying to make a living on the road, you don't make as much money as you do in a job. And so there's this balance to the whole thing. I have to balance the amount of money I spend and the amount of work I put into it so I can still see some things. Whereas when I worked all the time, had lots of money, and wasn't able to see any of it. So to me, money is the driving factor of what I get to see and what I get to do. Now, that may not be your answer, and you may think my answer is junk. Well, that's no excuse. Money shouldn't be an object. Well, if money is an object, when I run out of it, I will go back to a house, and I will go back to work, working 12, 16 hours a day, not enjoying life at all. So at least I can say I am enjoying my life. But this isn't where you can go and just see beautiful things every day. I have said that I have 2 favorite campgrounds now. And shortly, I think I'm going to have 3. I really do hope so, but let me talk about the 2. The grasslands in South Dakota. It was the Badlands. It's right outside the Badlands National Park. Now, when I was there, lots of people said, you should go into the Badlands. Well, that was a $20 bill that I would have had to drop just to drive through the Badlands. Yet I'm literally right outside the exit. I could see the flashing lights to the gate of the Badlands from my camp spot. And I saw all that beauty. I got to sit there and study for 2 weeks. Well, actually 4 weeks, because we went there for 2 weeks, left, and then came back later. And I got to study the geography and the erosion and all of it. And I find all that scientific stuff and history and all of it just fascinating. And you get to wonder how long before all that area that I was camping on would be eroded away. I wondered what it would be like to camp there in the wintertime. So there's a lot of memories that I got to experience sitting there for 4 weeks that I would have never have gotten to experience before. Now here's the thing, is I've driven by the Badlands 5 times in my life, but I never stopped and took the time to really enjoy the Badlands. Now, if I were to go and do what everybody suggests, well, just go spend the 20 bucks and run through the Badlands. Well, the $20 is not worth it in comparison to sitting at that free camp spot for 2 weeks. Now, the second campground that I really enjoyed was outside the dam we were just at here in Texas. The power of that thing, and I know a lot of people thought that was a ridiculous place to stay. Well, I would have never stayed there. That just didn't interest me at all. Well, but it interests me, and that's the point that I'm trying to make, is you're gonna go places that don't interest you, so you can get to the places that do interest you. This isn't just, okay, from one great spot to the next great spot. You'll run out of whatever it is that's keeping you from being able to do this lifestyle in the first place, whether it's money, health. I mean, if you're constantly driving, that's gotta be hard on a person. I couldn't imagine doing that all the time. But I got to sit there for 2 weeks, learned how dams worked. Now, the next place I'm gonna go to is the North Rim Grand Canyon. Now, I'm not going to the national park where it's gonna cost me a fortune and you know, going in there, 20 bucks, sitting in it, oh, that's nice, and leave. No, I'm gonna back my camper up to the North Rim Grand Canyon, you know, north of the national park, into the national forest. And when I wake up in the morning with my cup of coffee, I'm gonna see this beautiful landscape. At least that's my hope. But this isn't just something I can do every day. I can't go there now, it's cold there. Now, you may find that miserable, and if that's the case, then I'm assuring you that this is not going to be the lifestyle for you. What you need to do is stay in your house and go on vacations to see those things once or twice a year. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.